Hey everyone, Teo here. Today I want to talk about wireless mic systems. I want to tell you the features that you should look out for before you buy any wireless mics. And these wireless mics can be used with mirrorless cameras, with iPhones or Android phones. I want to make this video because recently I received two wireless mic systems for review, and these two systems have new features that my old mics do not have. So I want to talk about new features as well as old features. The audio quality you can get from wireless mics nowadays is so good that you don't have to spend that much money to buy expensive mics. So even affordable mics can give you pretty good audio quality. So much so that many companies nowadays are competing on the extra features that they can offer in addition to the audio quality. For example, companies can give you this battery charging case to charge your transmitters and receiver. Some charging cases even have UV light sanitization, and some companies would even throw in all the adapters and cables that you need for recording across different devices. I will not recommend any specific brands of wireless mics because all these brands and models, they come and go. What's more important to know is the features to look out for. So I'm going to start by talking about my first wireless mic. This is the Sennheiser EW100G3 wireless mic system that I bought more than 10 years ago to use with my mirrorless camera. So this is really old and it's still working, and I believe there are newer models of this now. And because this can take removable and rechargeable batteries, you don't have to worry about battery life as long as you have extra batteries for backup, and there is a battery life indicator as well. Many wireless mics nowadays come with built-in batteries which are not removable, and that is actually a downside because with usage, the rechargeable battery that's inside the mics will actually deteriorate. So this mic used to have 6 or 7 hours of battery life, and recently I tested this mic again. The battery life has dropped to just 2 hours, slightly over 2 hours. Many wireless mics nowadays come with built-in rechargeable batteries that are not removable. And that's a downside because with usage, the battery capacity will drop, so you will get shorter and shorter battery life over the years. This one, for example, used to have 6 hours of battery life, and now when I test this after 3 years, it only has slightly over 2 hours of battery life. So with removable, rechargeable batteries, this system can be used forever until it physically breaks down, which is unlikely because the build quality is extremely solid. This body is actually metal. The downside is those mics that can take removable batteries are usually bigger. So this is a transmitter and this is also a transmitter, and you can see this one with the built-in battery is about 3 to 4 times smaller and lighter. If you buy mics with non-removable batteries, there will come a point in time where the battery life will be so short that it's not feasible to use these mics outdoors anymore, and you may have to throw them away unless you can find some way to replace the battery inside yourself. This mic is actually designed for use with mirrorless cameras, and it is possible to use this mic to record audio to phones. You just need the right adapter. So I can attach this mic to the hot shoe mount here on this phone holder, and I can use a lightning to 3.5mm adapter cable to record audio from this receiver to the phone. The downside here is this is kind of heavy because this receiver is heavy. So nowadays it doesn't really make sense to buy a wireless mic like this for recording with phones. You should probably go with more portable wireless mics such as this one that I have here, which is lighter and much smaller, and it does the same job. It will give you the same audio quality as this more expensive mic will give you. And now let's talk about compatibility with your recording device, such as your camera or phones. Try not to buy receivers that can only work with one platform. For example, this receiver can only be used with USB-C devices. So if you want to use this with your mirrorless camera, you can't. And this receiver can only be used with Lightning devices. So if you want to use this with USB-C devices or your mirrorless cameras, you can't. This is the Ceremonic Blink 500 wireless mic system that I purchased many years ago, and I don't like this because I had to buy separate receivers. So nowadays it's better to just buy a receiver that can work with multiple platforms with the help of adapter cables, which are going to be way more affordable compared to buying these proprietary receivers. So with this 3.5 TRS to 3.5 TRS cable, you can record to mirrorless cameras. With this TRS to TRRS 3.5mm cable, you can record to phones that are still using the headphone jack. TRRS means there are 1, 2, 3 stripes here, and TRS means there are 2 stripes here. And you have to get the correct cable to record to the correct device. And with this TRS to USB-C adapter cable, you can record to Android devices or any devices that use the USB-C connector. And with this 3.5mm TRS to Lightning connector, you can record to iOS devices. If you are recording to an iPhone, the difference between using this Lightning to 3.5mm adapter cable versus this Lightning USB adapter is this will record very low volume. So I highly recommend you go with the Lightning to 3.5mm adapter cable instead. For Android users with USB-C connectors, you don't have to worry about low volume recording because that's an iOS issue. Nowadays, there are wireless mics that come with a display, and if you have the budget, definitely go with a mic that has a display, because this can show you useful information such as battery life, connection strength, the recording mode that you are using. So with a receiver or transmitter without a display, you will have to rely on the light indicators to know whether there is enough battery life and also what recording mode you are using, whether there is ANC or no ANC. So having a display is definitely going to be more useful and convenient. Here I have 2 transmitters, and there are clips that you can use to clip onto your clothes. So these 2 transmitters use omnidirectional mics, which means as long as the mic is near the audio source, you can get very good audio quality. The main difference between these 2 mics to me is this mic has a 3.5mm audio jack, which allows you to use a lavalier mic with this. Using a lavalier mic allows you to hide the transmitter somewhere else, because if you clip this to a collar, the blue light may be distracting, or if the light is blinking, people will look at the blinking light instead of focus on the person who is talking. So being able to hide this somewhere else and put a lavalier behind the clothes can or is an option with a transmitter that has this 3.5mm audio jack. And it is also possible to connect a directional mic or boom mic to this wireless transmitter. This transmitter also happens to have internal storage that can be used to record audio. So the audio that you can record on this transmitter can be used as a backup in case the audio that's recorded to the camera was not recorded properly. And I have to press and hold this button to get the audio to record, and you can see this blinking light obviously is quite distracting. Make sure the wireless mic you want to buy comes with a windshield or windshields that you can install onto the transmitter, because you will be using this outdoors and there will be wind, so this windshield will prevent wind noise from being recorded, and make sure the windshield is able to attach very securely to the transmitter. It's very convenient to have a charging case for the transmitters and receiver, because when you store this away, you are also charging them, and this case allows you to transport or bring around this transmitter and receiver very easily and conveniently. If you have two transmitters, you don't really have to worry too much about the battery life on the transmitter, because one can be used as a backup when the battery life for the first one runs out. So the limitation with battery life will come down to the receiver, because there is only one receiver. And if the battery life runs down, it is possible to connect a power bank to the USB-C port to charge the receiver. If you have a full day of recording from morning to night, the battery life of this receiver is not going to last the whole day, so you will have to charge this. And if you charge this inside the carrying case, it means you will not be able to use this, so you will have to find some way to charge this with a portable power bank if you want to use this the whole day. This receiver has a 3.5mm audio jack for audio monitoring, and this receiver does not. So if you want to monitor your audio from your receiver, this is essential. If your wireless mic does not have a carrying case, I highly recommend you buy one, because this is very convenient. You can use this to store your battery charging case, and you can store all those cables so they can bring all these accessories in one convenient package. It is possible to use these wireless mics to record audio into your computer, but the audio quality is not going to be as good compared to using this to record audio to a camera or phones. So if you want to record audio to your computer, it's best to get a proper desktop mic instead. Nowadays, there are wireless mics with active noise cancelling, and it's useful, but I personally don't use ANC because the audio quality that you get with ANC enabled is affected. So I usually just record without active noise cancelling. I think I've pretty much covered everything I wanted to say, and if I have left out anything, or if you have some questions you want me to answer, let me know in the comment section below. So nowadays, it's easy to find a good quality wireless mic system for less than $150 or even $100 US. If you pay more, you may get more features, but you don't have to pay excessively just to get a good wireless mic nowadays.